I thought the dryer was shrinking all of my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator the whole time.
Sometimes people question my sanity, but my penguins told me I'm fine.
What did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing. It just waved.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock-knock joke?
I did not.
He won the Nobel Prize.
Jenna, my wife thinks I'm nosy. At least that's what her diary says.
My nephew made the highest rank in the Navy.
Really?
I find that admirable. Hi, my name is Jenna Schroeder, and I am the president of the Loveland Stage Company, and I have been living in Loveland for about 17 years. I love Loveland because it's such a wonderful place to come and enjoy the trail, the local businesses, the restaurants are great, the coffee shop is great, and the community is awesome. There's always an event for a holiday or made-up holidays like the Frogman Festival. So I love being a part of a town that's involved, positive, friendly, and then there's lots of things to do for family and for date nights and things like that. So there's so many things going for Loveland. I'm really happy to be here and be a part of it.
All right, Jenna, hey, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. I know you got a lot of things going on and you're busy, so definitely appreciate you being here and taking some time to share what's going on with the Loveland Stage Company.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You've been president for a year?
I've been president for a year,
Yeah.
and I've been on the board for 3 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you for doing that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we talked a little bit before, like, definitely Loveland Stage Company. And I used to say this to Pat Furterer, was that, I think Loveland Stage Company is like one of the jewels of Loveland. So with that being said, why don't you take a moment and tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Loveland Stage Company, what you guys got coming down the pike and things?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love the Loveland Stage Company. The cool thing about it is that it is for our community to be an entertainment venue, and we bring in all these award-winning shows, and it looks really small on the outside, but you walk in there, and it's a full theater, seats about 200, for those that don't know. And so we do these full stage musicals, plays, and we get awards consistently within the theater community every year. And what I've been really trying to do in the past couple years that I've been on the board is work to growing our involvement in the community, like creating more community events. Sometimes they're fundraise for the theater to raise funds to improve our building, but sometimes it's just community outreach, getting, families involved, people that might not normally step into the theater, saying, hey, we're here and we're doing some pretty cool stuff. So fellow board members been doing a music series. We've had a lot of local music artists perform, and we do coffee music nights. I've done a Valentine's variety show for the past 3 years with my co-host, and that's a fundraiser, but it brings in people from all different theater communities to perform, actually. And all of the proceeds go towards the theater. And then some other events we've done, like we participated with Loveland the Frog Festival this past year. And we did crafts and games for kids that were all frog themed. We did a Princess and the Frog sing-along. We had a fellow actress dress up as Princess Tiana, and they did like a meet and greet and photo op, and I read a story of mine that's about an enchanted forest. So we had a lot of fun doing that. We hope to continue to do things like that with Loveland. And it's just been, it's a really neat place because it is for the community, as I said, but also for the internal community. So all the actors, the musicians, the tech support, it is where people collaborate, as people from all over, all walks of life, and we work together to volunteer and create really neat productions and events for the theater.
Yeah, that's great. One of the things I always talk about is Loveland is full of passionate people, right? So, I mean, it shows in a lot of things that go on. And Loveland Stage Company is no exception, right? I mean, I did get my 15 seconds of fame a few years ago, but
What show were you in?
I was the priest. Welcome.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, most people did. But it is. I mean, I actually got to get behind the scenes and meet the people, and it's a great group. It's a funny group. The stuff that goes on in the background is just, it's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
It's actually, was funny to me is like we did 8 shows, right? And it just kept getting bigger, right? People kept getting more comfortable, and it kept getting bigger, and I was like, okay, these people are a blast.
That's when you get in the zone.
It's a great place for people to come that are interested in the singing, the dancing, and the acting and things. So that's another reason why I say it's a jewel of Loveland. So the other thing is I know you've got a few things coming up here, so you got to hit on that. One of my favorite is the kids stuff.
Yes.
It's great for them to come in during like the summertime or whatever and do a kids show. And I go all the way back to Horton, Here's a Who, or whatever. That was 15 years ago or whatever that was. But if you don't mind, you want to talk about some of the stuff you got coming up?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have the kids workshop. We call it a workshop, but really it's like a full-fledged show, as you know. So it's singing, dancing, props, an amazing set. And the kids that are in this show, they get to work on all parts of it. So we've got a teenager in the sound and in the lighting booth. We've got kids running props. They learn all about the behind the scenes as much as performing on the stage as well. And so we're doing SpongeBob the Musical, and it's the second weekend of July. So we'll be in the Loveland Parade. They'll be in the Loveland Parade on the 4th of July promoting it, and then the next weekend will be the show, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the kids have a blast, and it's a great opportunity for them. And we're really trying to work towards growing that children's program as well, because Cincinnati and Loveland is just a place where kids love theater and love to dance. So we love being a place that they can come and learn more about it. And we also offer free workshops for the kids throughout the summer. We started that last summer. So for kids who maybe want a little bit more teaching and education on how do you audition, or so we bring in people who do character work and things like that. So we've been trying to grow that program. So come see SpongeBob the Musical. It's going to be fantastic.
I love SpongeBob.
I know. And then after that, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we're going to have the Loveland Shorts Film Festival. So last year was the first one in Loveland, and it brought a great crowd, great film directors, great short films. We did the whole 9 yards, and we did presentations. Some of us dressed up in characters like old Hollywood stars for the first night, and we just make it a really fun event. And so we hope people will come out and see that. It's a totally different art form, and it's just been really neat to bring that into Loveland. And then we, of course, went and visited our local restaurants and things like that to continue that collaboration here in Loveland. So we have those 2 big things coming up in the summer. And then after that, in November, we'll have our big show, Something Rotten, which is, have you seen that show?
Yeah, no. But
it's
I already
hysterical.
love it, though.
It's hysterical, and it's a comedy. It's a musical comedy, but it's based on, a Shakespeare wanting to do a play, and just all kinds of things go awry. Okay. So it's gonna be fantastic. It'll be the first 3 weekends of November.
Good, fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you do a little plug real quick. So if someone feels so moved to donate, how would they do that?
Wonderful. Yes. Well, they can go online at lovelandstagecompany.org, and they can donate there and help us that. Also, if you come to a show or any of these events that I mentioned, that actually helps us to be able to maintain and run our theater. And then we also have a QR code in the lobby that the donation also goes straight to our HVAC campaign. So any way that you want to help out and support our theater, that's how you can do it.
You'll make it easy on them.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's right.
So easy. We'll even entertain you for
Yes, right. There you go. Well, what more could you ask for? Well, again, I really do appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
And I really do. I mean, you've got a lot more going on than even I was aware of. So thanks for doing all that. And thanks for keeping that jewel of Loveland all nice and shiny. So that's good.
We try. Oh, and I actually want to mention one more thing, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
I realized that we also are bringing back the brick paver campaign. So the bricks that are engraved. If you guys walk around, if you look around Loveland, you'll see by the theater there have been bricks engraven, and we're doing that again, where you can purchase a brick, get it engraved in the honor of someone or your family's name or your business's name, and that those funds will go towards our new lighting that we also need.
Oh, okay.
So we are also doing that initiative as well. So
perfect.
You can have a little stone in the gem of downtown Loveland.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like that.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, again, thank you so very much,
Yes.
and thanks for all you're doing.
It's my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank you so much, Art.
Yeah, thanks, Jenna.
What Loveland means to me is community. I love that the tagline is Sweetheart of Ohio. Valentine's Day has always been my favorite holiday, so I think it's kind of serendipitous that we live in Loveland. But Loveland has really grown to me to mean community, from community events that they do, from the people I meet, and here at the theater where I volunteer my time, the friendships that I've made and the things that we do together. I feel like Loveland really represents that in everything that they do.
So Jenna, you know, this is kind of a finance podcast or show or whatever. So so I'll let you actually talk a little bit about what you have going on. But I know
Sure.
you have a finance question, so we'll let Caitlin take a crack at it.
Great. So I actually started my own small business called Little Bird Press, and I have published a book, and I have more coming. And I also have another book published through another company, a children's book. And my question was, how do you get investors to invest in a small company? You know, right now, when you're just starting out, you use a lot of your own funds. What would you recommend for someone just starting out and trying to grow their small business?
Yeah, so I'll take a crack at it.
There you go.
So I'm not super knowledgeable about the book industry specifically, but I do know that usually when investors are investing in companies, if they're giving money at the very beginning, like seed money, they look for a return around 5 to 7 years. And then if you're giving money later in the process, maybe 1 to 3 years. And I imagine the book industry might be more of like a risky investment. So I think maybe the 1 to 3 year mark is something that they're looking for to get a return on their money. And just, I think like what would be attractive to investors is the scalability of your books. So it sounds like you're already doing a really good job at that, like writing multiple books and maybe thinking about writing sequels to your books, or how they can be made into like theatrical adaptations maybe. Like, I know that might be like far ahead, but like, can my book be made into a TV show or a movie? So I think that would be attractive to investors. And then also just hitting on the hot topics of right now. Like, I feel like children's books are the common themes right now are like diversity and kindness, and there's been a lot of like STEM related books, like trying to get kids interested in those topics. And then finally, I think making your books attractive to schools would also be attractive to investors, and because I think schools really right now are also interested in like the educational kindness matters, diversity matters topics. So that's just like a few things off the top of my head that I think.
That's great. No, that's great. Yeah, that my first book has like some emotional regulation tools, like hidden, like kind of in it, like within it, like positive mind shifts and things like that, nature-based and things like that. So I feel like that hits that. And then the graphic novel I wrote, which is for a different company, but it's about kind of over friendships and quirkiness, accepting each other, overcoming obstacles, and it's really funny.
And I love
it's
the
a graphic
name
novel.
of your book. Say it again.
It's Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza in the Case of the Missing Hat.
Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza in the Case of the Missing Hat.
Yes,
I love that.
Longest title ever.
And
and
it's catchy.
It's catchy, yeah. It's based on the popular card game, which has the longest title, for which I'll blame my brother, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. So everything else is going to be really long. And then my other book, Our Enchanted Forest Reel, which is also long. That's the one that, you know, was mortgaged to the younger age, emotional health kind of a thing, and connection experience together, bonding nature. And actually, Loveland Schools is going to have me at their school. So is that something that that I could potentially promote to a potential investor, and say, hey, this school wants to have me as an author? Is that something that would?
Yeah, I think like the more that you're getting your books out there is more potential for people to buy your books, which always looks good to an investor. It just sounds like you're heading in the right direction.
Oh, great. Great.
So I'll take a look at this from a different standpoint. Okay. So I can always talk about passion, about people who are passionate, right? So if you got it, and clearly you've got the whole passion and energy thing going on, right? I'm more of the angel investors. and things like that. So you have investors out there and they're worried about return on their money and things like that, you know. But then you kind of got the angel investors a little bit. They want to support something that is fun and it's interesting and it's going to be successful. It's going to make a difference in the world and things like that. So try and find those people, and there are avenues out there to find those kind of angel. You know, there are literally people out there looking to make investments in things or looking to give money to people just because they want to see them be successful or they want to see that idea move forward and things like that. So, you know, I'm a big fan of that. And I'll give you a perfect example. We had a friend a number of years ago was just out of school and was putting together her own movie. Okay, so she was doing the same thing. She was looking for investors and things like that. One of the things was it was not return on your money, but it was just like little things like if you donated this money, you got this prop from the set. You got this from the set. You know, just different thing. A signed manuscript or a signed, you know, something
That's
signed
neat,
by this thing. So it was little things that, you know, hey, you donated to something. It made a difference. It turned out great. Someone was very successul, and you got like a little memento. You know, like it was about playing. Like there was something about a plane. Literally, it had like a crafty plane that was in the movie, and then someone got that plane.
Oh,
and
wow.
Plane sits on the thing. So again, a little bit of different cut. You know, it's a lot harder to return. You know, measure your return on investment if you're that person. But I look at things in two different ways. You know, there's financial return on investment, and then
there's just the heart.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that topic, anyway. So.
No, that's great, and that's a really good thing for me to think about. And then, if there are other people like me thinking the same thing, how would you go about trying to find an investor that's more of an angel investor? Is that just through relationships, or do they put themselves out there?
That's part of it, but they do. There's literally, if you go and probably Google angel investors, there are probably sites. I mean, you know, there's GoFundMe and things like that.
Yes.
But you know, there's you know, sometimes they are looking for something. So you know,
cool.
you got to entice them. But then there's if you know, the internet, the interweb is an amazing thing, right? No, so yeah, I would start there for starters. So I can't name one off the top of my head, but they're out there.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, good.
Thank you.
Jenna, once again, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I mean, again, we're going to talk a lot about Loveland and passion in this podcast, and huge appreciation for your passion for Loveland Stage Company. Huge appreciation for what Loveland Stage Company does. I mean, I'll say it one more time. It's amazing to be able to come downtown and see a show and make an evening of it and things like that. So, and you have brought out some amazing new ideas and trying. Again, I'm a big fan of trying something new.
Yeah.
As long as you don't burn the building down, which maybe that's not a good analogy.
Been there, done that.
That's how I usually say it. I probably shouldn't use it for this topic. You know, try things, right? See what works. So, one, just thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your time, and two, thanks for everything you're doing and everybody else at Loveland Stage Company is doing to make it successful.
Well, thank you so much. It's certainly a team effort. So I appreciate people like you and our community and everybody at the Loveland Stage Company. It really is an all hands on deck place. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.